The Star Wars franchise is filled to the brim with lightsaber duels, space battles, and intricate politics.
Regional governors now have direct control.
Which started right here with the taxation of trade routes.
But for this video, you better buckle up, because we're taking a look at the high-speed racing of the Boonta Eve Classic.
See Ben Quadinaros.
Today, we will be counting down the top 10 pod racing moments in the Star Wars series of films. Before we get into the list, let's take a look at some honorable mentions. For the first honorable mention, we're taking a look at Anakin's pod stalling at the start of the pod race. Here we see a raw moment of anxiety. After so much work and testing, Anakin's pod fails to start up, even when the race itself does not. For the second honorable mention, we'll be taking a look at the cave. After taking the time to immerse the audience in the cinematic cadence of the scene, writer-director George Lucas wastes no time before throwing some curveballs, one of which being the cave. Here we are thrown from an open space to a tight one. The vibes in here are rocky, to say the least. Not to mention, acclaimed pod racer, Rats Tyrell, in a kinetic frenzy, nearly taking Anakin with him. For the third and final honorable mention, we have the moment where Kitster leads the Eopie away. Here, we see a dynamic shot that presents the contrast between friend and foe. In the foreground, Sebulba sabotages Anakin's pod. Meanwhile, the background is dedicated to the one and only. Kitster's determination to grab the halter and guide the Eopie away shows his valuable work ethic and commitment to the team. With the honorable mentions behind us, it's about time we dive into number 10. Kicking off the list at number 10, we have the moment where Mars Duo is eliminated from the race by a meddling Sebulba. This is the lavishing of wonders I might ever hope to expect from a Star Wars film, condensed into a solitary moment of pure chaos. What really sweetens the pie is when Anakin dodges the gliding remains of the pod. This is a tense moment of fleeting agitation, like a hammer in the wind. Number 9.
You all set, Annie?
Yep.
Right.
Whoa!
At number 9, we have the moment where Qui-Gon helps Anakin set up for the race. This is a lovely little scene where Qui-Gon shows just how caring of a guy he really is. It's a quick moment.
Concentrate on the moment.
Blink and you'll miss it.
I will.
Use your instincts.
But what really solidifies it as one of the best is when Qui-Gon says the iconic phrase, "May the Force be with you." Not only does this line bring us chills, but it perfectly transitions us into the firing up of the engines.
He's fine. May the Force be with you.
Number 8. At number 8, we have a moment that is intimidating for a myriad of reasons.
Well, it looks like Quadinaros is out.
This is where Grand Man Mawhonic from Hawk gets his power couplings trashed and rolled. There is no denying the clear confidence which was exuded from Mawhonic prior to the commencement of the race.
He'll be hard-pressed to catch up.
However, this truculent act of barbarism from a merciless Sebulba displays an exposure of the illusory of a confident man. Number 7. Racing in at number 7, or rather, pod racing in at number 7, is the moment where Anakin is forced onto the surface
Skywalker's been forced onto the service rack.
by a rambunctious Sebulba. Number 6. At number 6, we have the First Lap Lull.
Look, here he comes.
Odie Mandrell makes a pit stop. Here we have a moment defined by silence.
It looks like Skywalker's moving up the field.
The IFieso advertises concessions. Anakin attempts to overtake Gasgano. Watch what befalls. Number 5. At number 5, we have the moment where Kitster anticipates the start of the pod race. The sun in his eyes he can hardly see, yet he decides to endanger his retinas all the same. He has bigger fish to fry than preserving his eyesight. This moment is significant because it shows us a level of blind loyalty Kitster has for Anakin. And let's be honest, it's deserved. These two make an excellent team. It only makes sense that Kitster would go out of his way and his eyesight. It just makes sense that Kitster would go out of his way to make sure his friend's doing okay. Number 4.
Look.
At number 4 stands the moment where Ben Quadinaros is eliminated from the race. Here we see a masterclass in scene construction from George Lucas and his talented team of filmmakers.
This is gonna be messy. We not watching.
At the height of Tusken Raider madness, we seamlessly transition to Ben Quadinaros and his power coupling Troubles. In a masterful stroke of the brush by editors Ben Burt and Paul Martin Smith, our fear of the Tusken Raiders, delivered through Anakin's turmoil as well as the disquietude of the others, weaves directly into this unusual shot of Ben Quadinaros, stalling as his pit team abandons him. But we don't just dive right into the destruction. Instead, we are kept conscious of the flow of the race. We are quietly told to brace ourselves for the coming impact of the first lap's completion, creating a nail-biting contrast of speed versus inactivity. Here is where Ben Quadinaros completes his story function. His pod failure sets the stakes for what we can expect to go wrong in this ever-intensifying race. All in one moment, we see his power couplings go dark, setting the stakes for this. We see his power couplings disconnect, setting the stakes for this. And all the while, he is anchored in place at the finish line, providing the perfect motivation for the camera to already be there, which allows the film to set up and complete 3 story elements. Element 1, Anakin is in trouble. Our protagonists are not sure if he will survive this Tusken Raider attack. Element 2, our announcer, Fodes and Bede, is commenting on the Tusken Raider presence. However, amidst this announcement, the camera points at Ben Quadinaros as his pit team abandons him, implying it might be time for Fodes and Bede to take a look and start providing commentary. Element 3, the Tusken Raiders are done attacking and the racers have now passed. Now we witness the pod failure and the commentary from Fodes and Bede, which completes Element 2, followed by one more shot of the racers inching closer to our present story location. As Ben Quadinaros featherically descends to the ground, the camera has now completed its journey to the middle of the action, and we witness the rush of the pods as they complete their first lap, not just from an aerial shot, but right in the middle of it all. Element 3, complete. To tie it all up, we graciously glide through the aforementioned First Lap Lull and into the completion of Element 1, Anakin in Trouble. Now that all of the payoffs of the scene have taken place, the stage is set. Anakin can complete his first lap and tow the camera into the next course of action.
Number 3.
At number 3, we have the moment where Anakin troubleshoots pod malfunctions while being rear stopped by an approaching Sebulba.
Skywalker's in trouble. Someone takes the lead.
Number 2.
At number 2, we have the moment where Anakin wins the Podrace. This is a spectacular moment that is bound to drum up an explosion of emotions in the viewer. Every shot, every action exudes joy from everyone involved. You leave the scene feeling an insurmountable mountain of happiness, along with a strong sense of purpose.
Mom, I did it!
Number 1.
At number 1, we have the Final Duel. Here is a moment where Anakin finally catches up to Sebulba, but then their pods link together after Anakin is pushed. As this disturbing juncture crashes into happening, we can only recoil and scream. It is this moment where Anakin's true breaking point is reached. He can no longer contain the anguish that rocks and rolls the very tissue of his brain. It is evident to Anakin, as well as to us audience members, that this is the end of the line. This luminously satiating shellacking concludes with a quiet shout of frustration from a disconsolate Sebulba. Do you have a favorite Podrace moment that was not mentioned in this video? There is a comment section just below the subscribe, like, and dislike buttons. Please feel free to interact with any of these elements.